Our final semifinal game of the day here on this third and final day of the New England Rivalry Challenge. Team Maine and Team New Hampshire competing for one last spot in the championship game, which will be at 3:30 this afternoon. Team Massachusetts is well on their way to a win over Team Vermont, currently up 8-2 in the third. We'll see what's in store for us here between these two teams who met way back on Friday. The very first game of this tournament in the 2010 age bracket, and Team Maine 6-4 winners over Team New Hampshire, who finished the second seed with a win, a loss, and a tie. Through 3 games played in the preliminary round, Team Maine was 1-2, dropping their last 2 games after opening up with that win. For New Hampshire, they're coming off their first win of the tournament, 4-2 on Saturday afternoon over Team Vermont. See if they can carry some of that positivity into today on this Sunday morning. These two teams are just about as even as they get. Coming into this game, Maine and New Hampshire each with 13 goals for. Maine with 14 goals against. New Hampshire 13 goals against. As Sammy Brushett starts out for New Hampshire in goal, opposite of Grady Argriau, who's been Maine's only netminder of this tournament. As Brushett makes his first save down low, able to find that puck in the crease. Comes into this game with a .924 save percentage, the highest mark amongst goaltenders in this age bracket. He's stopped 50 of his last 54 shots now. For Argriau, no goaltender has been busier because no goaltender has played more. He's logged 134 minutes of ice time in this tournament and has seen 123 shots. He comes in with an .886 save percentage. He made 29 saves in the win back on Friday. He is coming off of a 6-5 loss to Team Massachusetts, game in which he faced 47 shots on goal. Team New Hampshire with the puck. Oberding will send it in all the way below the goal line where it's picked up by Hessen. Up to the line, held in. Oberding shoots. That breaks off of Argriau, and the rebound fought off as he got back to his left there to make the save. Kingston Del Mastro was lurking around the rebound there. He's got 3 goals in this tournament, 2 of them coming back on Friday. As another point shot never got through. Del Mastro on the follow-up was stopped as Argriau got his right pad down in time for the save. Off the draw, the puck was lost there in the skates of Desjardins as that long wrister was muffled off of Parachi's legs. Now it's Desjardins moving the puck out. Hedinger down low as Parachi looked to return the backhand feed. It misses everyone, and Greer now sends it out through neutral ice. It couldn't be controlled there by Peel. As it's moved past Grabars, Desjardins will look to pressure Peel, who turns it over. Now in back of the goal, it couldn't be settled down by Prue, who teams up there with Desjardins to steal the puck. Smith couldn't force that shot through Cisak. As from right in front of the main bench, he'll send it down the wall. Peel turning away from Edinger. As that pass cut down at center off the stick of Shook. It's brought in for a long shot, sticked away by Brushett on Ross's long try. That puck rolls through to Edinger down the wing. He's got Shook along with him. Shook finishes a hit there, and that will be a penalty as the puck nowhere to be found. And New Hampshire's leading scorer will sit for the game's first penalty for interference. 11:34 remaining here in the first. Face off is one, and Ross will play it back to the point. Hessen back across the line for Schmoll. Looking for a shot, he'll defer as they play it back door across the crease. Beautiful passing and a beautiful finish for Liam Ross on the power play. It took Maine only a dozen seconds to get the game's opening goal. They worked a similar play on Friday when they struck first on the power play. Joe Graceffa getting the goal. This time it's Graceffa setting up Ross. Graceffa and Fairbanks pick up the assists on that power play tally by Liam Ross. Maine in front 1-0 as they were on Friday, courtesy of a power play goal. And for Liam Ross, his third of the tournament, Cohen Fairbanks and Joe Graceffa picking up the assists. Jogan just cleared the line enough to force offside as New Hampshire sent it back in deep. Could not be cleared out past Cronin as Del Mastro gloves it down and shoots it back in off of Argriau. Peel able to pull it out through center, but his pass goes through the legs of Jackson Wing, who was up ice. Wing coming off of a 3-point game in that 6-5 loss to Massachusetts on Saturday. A goal and 2 assists for him. As Jogan brings this puck in across the line and snaps that shot wide past Brushett to the glove side, and then another point shot from Peel catches the post as that dipped down on the goaltender Brushett. Wing threw his weight around there in neutral ice as Cronin's pass went off of Desjardins' skates and back into Cabana's corner where he'll scoot it along. It's played up the wing through Greer, but held in where Hessen will sweep it back in deep. Puck slides up the far side. Cabana will skate onto it first, but his pass cut off by Grabars. Now Greer trying to twirl that pass onto Heath's blade. Cabana gives that puck away off the backside of Cizak. Held in by Grabars. Another long shot, and that's caught by the standing Brushett, who will take it in for a defensive zone faceoff. Schmoll had that backhand cut down by Shook. Spinning at center, Shook couldn't guide that over to Edinger. Back to pick it up in his own zone, Oberding, but he ran into Graceffa. Fairbanks jostled there by St. Pierre as Hessen's shot blocked out of the zone off of St. Pierre. It's driven back in across the red line by Fairbanks. Turned over behind the goal. Ross tries to spin a pass out in front. Nobody was there in the circle. St. Pierre is able to get it out. He'll look for more down the wing, but he couldn't sneak around Fairbanks. Contact there in front of the New Hampshire bench between Smith and Graceffa. This puck pops down the wall. Oberding will turn it back up the near side. Smith Given a couple of bumps there along the boards as Shook goes over Vanderdoes, who was trying to hold the line. This puck will roll into space. Casey gets to it first. Protecting along the boards for New Hampshire. Cam Casey to the front. Got a tip and goal over the right shoulder of Agriao. The game is tied 1-1 with 7:24 to go in the first. Kingston Del Mastro does it again, his 4th goal of the tournament, 3rd against Team Maine. As he ramps that puck up and in over the right shoulder of Agriao. On the setup from Cam Casey, who got to a loose puck first along the left wing boards and just played it towards the goal. You never know what may just happen. And New Hampshire is rewarded there as we're tied up about midway through this first period of play. So Mastro gets a stick on that to break up the pass. It's Bell to backhand in down the boards as Rabars tries to move it around to Peel. Back in front of Agriao, and it's stashed in by Bell. .46 seconds in between goals. And it is Bell to get the go-ahead goal on what was a nothing play. Grabars moving the puck D to D. It got away from Peel and it got into the feet of Agriao, who was taken by surprise, and he did not have enough time to react to that as Bell's goal has New Hampshire all of a sudden up by 1. Desjardins can't force that shot through Schmoll as it's played over to the boards and cleared out by Maine. Brady Bell, his first goal of this tournament. And they are crediting Timothy Koreshkov with an assist. Fairbanks with a pass that couldn't be caught on the backhand by Graceffa. It saucered out up the wing. Shook, though, was bothered there from behind. Ross back down the boards where it's taken by Cabana. He'll get it up the left wing side quickly as it's brought in by New Hampshire, but that shot from Ettinger was blocked. Cabana back down the boards where Casey chops this through to the corner. It is St. Pierre in pursuit. He frees the puck out high. Shook, unable to slip that through as it was blocked down and cleared. Ross is in pursuit as Graceffa couldn't lead him up the ice. It's backhanded up and out through Peel. Vanderdoes will get there ahead of Shook in the corner, and he uses the body to close him off, but the puck rattling around. Shook out in front, almost muscled that through Agriao as it deflected off a stick. Now Smith firing, and that goes off of Peel and into the corner. Taken by Shook, who was taken down by Peel. More bodies collide as Graceffa was given a shot there, and a penalty coming as a result. St. Pierre is going to get it for the retaliation. As this goes for icing. Roughing is the call, and Team Maine will head back to the power play where they're 1 for 1. Face-off will come outside the New Hampshire zone. As that puck was iced by Team Maine on the delayed penalty. Bath able to win the draw against Del Mastro, who struck for a shorthanded goal on Friday against Team Maine. It was a 3-on-5 shorty. Maine up just by one. Trailing, though, on the scoreboard 2-1, as their power play will look to even things up. Back up to the point for Schmoll. He'll play it back into the circle. Schmoll, watched there by Koreshkov, now from the dot. This is fired for a goal as Jogan strikes on the power play, his fourth of the tournament, and it's another quick striking power play at that for Team Maine, this time just 28 seconds, and they've tied things up 2-2. .301. That is as long as New Hampshire got to play with the lead, as we are tied 2-2 here with 3.5 to go in this opening period of play. Schmoll with the helper there on the power play tally. Two here in this first period. As Jogan's pass broken up by Ettinger on the back check. Jogan gets it back and scores! .35 seconds apart. Jogan's got a pair, and Team Maine, just like that, takes the lead back at 3-2 now. Their first even strength goal of this contest. As Casey down low into the corner for St. Pierre, centers it in tight quarters. Argreau, a couple of saves to shut down Shook, as a pile of players fall on top of him. He is able to get the whistle with the puck somewhere underneath him. Finton Bath with the assist on Jogan's second of the period. The go-ahead tally, 35 seconds apart for his fifth goal of the tournament, to lead all goal scorers for Team Maine. Joe Graceffa leads the team with 7 points. This puck is held in by Oberding, who's got some room into the circle. Shot right on. Argreau looked behind him. Unsure of where that puck was. He had it trapped as New Hampshire crashes towards the crease. Trying to get things tied up before this first period comes to a close. Koreshkov, quick trigger pull, and that's off the blocker of Argreau, who gets down to make a stick save. As that long volley goes wide into the corner. Cronin sends that wide, perhaps hoping for a tip from Koreshkov, the big forward. Back around the goal, Del Mastro turns from the circle. That's stopped around or not. Another fluttering shot off of Argreau and in. Kingston Del Mastro with yet another, and it's 3-3 with 1:29 to go. Our sixth goal of this first period. His 5th goal of this weekend for Kingston Del Mastro. 4 of those 5 have come against Team Maine. He has terrorized them, as we're going to get a penalty here for hooking. With 1:12 to go, this time it'll be on Team Maine, and Liam Ross will head to the box, setting up Team New Hampshire with their first power play and a chance to try and retake the lead here in the final 72 seconds of this opening period. A barn burner here, as we're tied 3-3 with still 2 more periods to go. Vanderdoes pitchforks it up and out just past Cabana's blade. Final minute of this first period. And New Hampshire up a man here. This is drummed in cross corner. Hacked up the glass away from Desjardins. Oberding was taken down by Jogan. Another penalty coming here as Vanderdoes will touch up, and it will be a 5-on-3 power play with 39.5 seconds to go in the first. Jogan will head off for tripping. What an opportunity here for Team New Hampshire to do some damage. Koreshkov back up to Oberding at the point. Cabana. Out wide it goes. Shook, creeping. Now for Koreshkov in tight, and it was blocked by Schmoll, who gets the clear. With under 20 seconds to go, New Hampshire can get one last rush here in this period. Shook will carry this in over the line. Couldn't get around Hessen's check. This is Oberding trying to take it towards the net. Argreal had things shut off. Final seconds here. Casey catches and fires it over the crossbar as time runs out in this first period of play. There will be carryover power play time for Team New Hampshire. They'll have 18 seconds of a 5-on-3 to work with when we return here to Exeter for the second, coming up after this short break. Four goals in a 4-minute and 20-second span. The story of an explosive first period here in this semifinal match between Team Maine and Team New Hampshire. Tied 3-3 after the first period of play. And Team New Hampshire now on a 5-on-3 power play, trying to take the lead, and they will as Shook stashes it in. 4-3, 15 seconds into the second. Fourth goal for Shook. And a power play goal for New Hampshire, who still have 36 seconds left to work with. A 5-on-3 power play goal. As this is kicked down the wing, Shook looking for another, faking, and taking it around the goal. He couldn't center as it's up top. Smith's shot deflected and stopped by Argreau as it's played back towards the middle after Argreau had dove over to his right, and Team Maine able to skate this puck out of immediate trouble. Shook fights off Vanderdoes' check. Jogan's out of the box as Parachi fanned and made up for that error by blocking the shot. Cepho will push this into the New Hampshire zone. Parachi plays it across to Smith. The pairing on defense here is Smith has that pass almost intercepted by Peel. Casey across the red line, backhands it into the corner. His team ahead 4-3 here early on in the second. As that shot goes off of Brush's stick and wide. The fourth lead change already of this game as this puck shot all the way down and wide of Argreau. It goes the distance for icing. Heath had Parachi wrapped up as that's played back to the point, but Schmoll was too far off the boards as he'll send it back up to Heath. Heath unable to get past Cronin's check. Greer couldn't wait long enough for Heath to tag back up, and it's offside as a result. Seven goals on a combined 30 shots in this game. Still 12:44 left to play here in the second. It has not been a kind one for the goaltenders, but for those who love goals, and lots of them, we've had plenty so far in this semifinal round. With a spot in the championship game at 3:30 on the line. Last we had looked, Team Massachusetts was ahead 8-2 in their semifinal contest here today. That game finished a 9-2 final over Team Vermont. So it'll be Team Massachusetts playing for a championship in both the 2009 and 2008, or rather 2009 and 2010 age brackets. It'll be Massachusetts and Maine in the 09 bracket. It will be New Hampshire and Vermont in the 08 bracket. Waiting to see who will join Massachusetts in the 2010 bracket here. As Ross into the slot. Off the skates of Bath, who was battling there with two defenders. Oberding, one of them, who's worked over in the corner. Bath is in there trying to dig it free along with Fairbanks. Oberding along the boards. Works it around for Smith. Off the stick of Bell. It's held in and played back to the line. Peel contested there by Koreshkov, who knocked him down. That forces the puck out as Bell with it, able to tip it ahead for Koreshkov. Out high, he loses the handle. Puck was kicked ahead by Hessen. Peel with it, Trying to maneuver up to the red line. He didn't want to run into Koreshkov. As now Cronin unable to find St. Pierre, who gets this puck from Koreshkov. St. Pierre from out of the corner sees that deflect off the side of the net as Parachi shoots towards the goal. It was blocked out in front by the moving Shook. Power play goal 15 seconds into the period has New Hampshire up a pair, or up a goal I should say. St. Pierre can't center it. It is held in off the legs of Cronin. Shook will ship this all the way around the end boards. Casey met there by Peel. The puck pinned along the boards. It has not moved just yet, as it's now freed for Shook into the circle. St. Pierre turns, and that's patted down by Argreau. Good shift here from New Hampshire. And St. Pierre checked by Wing. Shook in front off the stick of Argreau. Wing gets it up to Jogan, but he's met quickly there by the stick of St. Pierre. A real grind it down shift here for New Hampshire as they work the boards. Casey up to Parachi and now back. Casey getting around Peel, but he couldn't step past the next layer. And it's Graceffa now bringing it back in across the line, curling at the boards. This pass was broken up by Shook as he tries to wiggle one towards goal, but it's guided away by Parachi. This puck will drift back over the New Hampshire line. Maine tags up as Parachi looks to stretch the ice out off of Grabar's stick. A lengthy shift there, but a productive one for New Hampshire. A lot of attacking zone time as the forward units change out mostly. This is Desjardins now opening up and sizzling one wide. Glove side to Argreau. The pass doesn't connect. And it has enough to go for an icing with 8:33 to go here in the second. Team New Hampshire up by a goal here over Team Maine, as Team New Hampshire, with that 1-goal lead, will now make a change here in goal. Splitting this semifinal round, Sammy Brushett will exit, stopping 6 of 9 shots. Archie Wibble will take over for the rest of the way as New Hampshire on the move again. Almost a chip shot there over Argreau, as it was Bell looking for his second. Cabana steps back in for New Hampshire, the defenseman. Trying to slip a pass out in front. It's played almost towards the crease off the legs of Prue. Back into neutral ice. Oberding shouldered into the boards there by Heath, as the puck is taken by Desjardins. Around Cizak. It's blocked down inside the line. Delayed whistle here for offside finally sounds. It had looked like New Hampshire had kept that play just onside at the line, but the referee out at center ice saying otherwise. They fight for it across the line. Koreshkov tried to push it down low for Del Mastro. He couldn't fight his way into the slot, as Koreshkov angles it back to Smith. He was run through by Fairbanks. And now Fairbanks trying to stretch down the left wing side. Low shot, and there's the first save for Wibble. First shot, it feels like, for Team Maine in quite some time, as this is looped out to neutral ice. Koreshkov couldn't get that past the stick of Smith. Finton Bath now in across the line, trying to cut into the circle, but broken up that time by Koreshkov. Held in at the line and sailed wide by Bath, who was covering at the point. Smith trying to spin away from Ross. He's able to get the puck to Bell. Schmoll, though, stepping front of Del Mastro. Couldn't hold the line, as he'll take it back here in neutral ice and play it through Koreshkov. This is shot back in from center into Wibble's chest, and he'll keep it there for a face-off with 6:09 remaining here in the second. Things have quieted down after that 6-goal first period. Just one up on the board so far, and it belongs to New Hampshire. Michael Shook with the power play goal, his 4th goal of this tournament. And it came 15 seconds into this period to give New Hampshire the lead. As now look out, could be a 2-on-1 with St. Pierre carrying the puck. He'll take the shot, and that's right into Argreau, who makes the save and then has to deal with St. Pierre bumping into him. Puck played just wide as he couldn't be pushed on net by Casey. Jogan can't lead in Graceffa as it's back for Vanderdoes to pick up from his own zone. He'll go indirect. Out to center. It's lost there by Casey, who was unable to get around Peel. Cronin will whip a pass up the boards. It's tipped towards the line. Off the skates of Cronin, who will control. Shook. Offside as his teammate could not hold up there at the line. That was Cronin, the defenseman. Greer able to work this puck in past Oberding. Chasing after it is Cisak. Puck in behind the New Hampshire goal. Oberding able to pitch a pass up the wing. Edinger over everybody's head. Unable to connect with Desjardins. He would have been offside either way. Shots are 25-11 in favor of New Hampshire. Feels as though Maine has not been able to generate much, especially in this period. I've only seen about 2, maybe 3 shots on target. They didn't have much back in the first, but were able to score 3 times, twice on quick striking power plays, which they needed only a combined 30 seconds to score 2 power play goals. Been a much different story here at even strength as Desjardins unable to lead Pruin down the wing. It's swept to the sideboards by Schmoll, as a long indirect was behind Ross. No icing as Cronin gets there first and gives the puck away. Fairbanks to the line where that shot was blocked off of Pru's stick. Played across the zone. Hessen up the wing. Bath has some numbers with him. This is Fairbanks shooting, and he missed to the glove side of Wibble. Up the neutral zone. That pass was slowed down as in transition they tried to drop it off for Koreshkov. Maine breaks that up and now has other ideas as that shot going wide from Graceffa. Flag down nonetheless by Whibble with 3:12 to go until we hit the break. Whibble will tie things up. Off the draw, Wing lost it along the boards as it's worked around the net. Cronin lets Parachi take over. It's gloved down off the glass by Hessen and played into the corner. Puck rolled up the wing. Reshkov up to the line. It's held in. Jogin trying to reestablish the handle as he pushes that wide of goal. Picked up along the outside, wing back to the point where Peel fanned on it. Sends it back in off the corner. Bell backhands out through center. Bell will pitchfork this back into the corner. Del Mastro sees Koreshkov lose the puck. It's escorted out by Wing. Now Jogan, top of the circle, and that's snared by Whibble. In good position there at the top of the crease to snag it. Around the boards, Casey was waiting for it. As Cabana muscles past Heath. Can't dance through, shook the trailer, stopped by Argriau, and then the rebound off the side of the cage from St. Pierre. That pass off a stick. Greer can't clear it past Casey. It's into the corner for Shook. Shook trying to reverse it, but nobody there. Greer turns it up the boards, but not out. Cabana pops it off the stick of Greer. It lands there for St. Pierre, who sends one through the crease. Back out high, Cabana's long wrister was dropped out of the glove of Argriau, who was able to reel it back in for the faceoff. New Hampshire nearly doubling up Maine in terms of the shots, 29-15. But it remains a one-score game with Michael Shook's power play goal, the difference maker. And it came 15 seconds into this period as Schmoll wiped out behind his own goal. That could have caused a problem. As Maine is able to get out of the zone cleanly, Fairbanks can't split past defenders, and it's trapped up along the ice by Whibble. Off the draw, Schmoll hesitated, but then was able to pitchfork one towards the net where Whibble reaches up with the glove. He has looked comfortable coming into this game. There has not been a ton of action for him or Brushett. Whibble has not conceded yet here since coming in midway. Back to collect is Prue. A quick pass up the wing is tipped towards the line. Schmoll was able to keep it in against Desjardins as Fairbanks now sends a shot wide, stick side. He didn't get the look he wanted as it was kicked down in front. Ross forcing a turnover. Has it here, trying to get free. Drops a penalty. Whibble, great save, and then wonderful on the rebound. Archie Whibble with a 10-better to stone Fairbanks and keep his team ahead by a goal with 15 seconds remaining here in the period. Ross drew the penalty on Parachi for hooking. And despite being hooked, he still got that backhand shot on goal. Wibble kicked it out and then lunged to his left for a fantastic save, robbing Fairbanks with the glove. And that save, as a result, will keep Team New Hampshire ahead 4-3 as we'll head into the break. A minute and 15 seconds of carryover power play time for Team Maine to work with, as Archie Wibble, with his biggest save so far to keep Team New Hampshire ahead by a goal, as we'll make a fresh sheet of ice and return here for the third. That's up next in about 10 minutes from the rinks at Exeter. Back here from the rinks at Exeter, third period of this semifinal match between the 2010s Team New Hampshire and Team Maine, set to get back underway. Team Maine with just over a minute of power play time to work with. They are 2 for 2 on the power play. They scored twice back in the first period. A power play goal from Michael Shook put New Hampshire ahead by a goal, as Whipple able to make a save, and the rebound is turned and cleared out off the protective netting. A 6-goal first period. Saw Maine jump out 1-0 before New Hampshire took the lead back 2-1. Maine with a quick pair of goals, 35 seconds apart, led 3-2. The last two have belonged to New Hampshire, but this one belongs to Team Maine. Their third power play goal has tied it 4-4. And much like Shook's, it comes early into the period, 26 seconds. As Graceffa gets his 5th goal of the tournament. And the power play has truly become the story here for Team Maine, who have had large stretches of this game where they have struggled at 5-on-5. But a perfect 3 for 3 with the power play. And that has us tied at 4. That's the first shot to beat Archie Whipple since he's come in off the bench. Puck dies off a glass support as it's played back in towards the main net. Schmoll with it. Ran into Del Mastro's check, as Del Mastro continues to be a wrecking ball here in the attacking zone. Dunks the puck back into the corner, where this time Schmoll's able to work it across to Hessen. Fairbanks into the middle. Puck is shot in where Whipple will come out and try to leave the puck, but it was almost turned over. Ross was hunting for that puck in back of the net as Team New Hampshire ices it. Maine on the move as Vanderdoes plays that across the zone. This long shot never got on to Whipple as Greer plays it around back to the corner. Prue comes in to pick up the puck. He'll skate it out of his own zone. Stopped though by Peel just outside the line. Puck cleared away from the side of the goal, as Desjardins could not get that out across the line. Ettinger could. But Prue was stood up by Peel as Maine will get a change here after dumping the puck in. It's shot in around Argriau's net as Casey finishes off a hit. Maine back up ice. Graceffa tried to crisscross in with Jogan. That goes offside against Team Maine. After this game, we can finally look towards the championship round, which will start right after this with the 2008 championship game between Vermont and New Hampshire. And the 2009, the 2009 championship game will feature Maine and Massachusetts. Will the 2010, as Grabars runs through down low on St. Pierre, who comes up hobbling. Cabana passes into the middle, but nobody there in the proper blue sweater. As Shook almost sent over the bench. As Oberding run through by Grisefa. He'll stay onside, but was stood up inside the line by Casey. Puck one-handed through center ice as Casey looks to track it down. Argriau plays it himself on that wayward puck. It's brought back in by Oberding. Taken back by Maine. Bath up the wall, where he runs right into Bell. At the point, Parachi on his offside held it in. Koreshkov to the outside. Floats one towards the net mouth, where it's caught by Argriau, who's seen enough. Puck dropped here just outside the main line, where New Hampshire sends it right back in. Schmoll dealing with pressure on his back, able to chip it up the boards. He'll help in breaking this puck out, guiding it along to Fairbanks. Fairbanks in with a shot. He was stood up by Parachi as that went high over the net. Ross holding firm, pushing and shoving against Smith. Parachi able to soccer that puck ahead, but it does not leave the zone as Desjardins unable to reach it. Bath feeds it out in front. Schmoll shoots stopped. Rebound is there, and Ross kicks to the stick and scores. Liam Ross with his second of the game, and Team Maine is ahead 5-4 with 9:42 to go. Our fifth lead change as St. Pierre bulldozes over Cizak along the near side. Our fifth lead change of this game as the puck coughed up to Greer. His pass goes off several sticks as St. Pierre was dropped. The physicality has seemed to have picked up here in this third and final period. This Team New Hampshire have an answer in what has been a seesaw-like affair. Back and forth we've gone from Exeter. It's brought back in over the line, into the slot now. St. Pierre turns and had that blocked. Hit off of Vanderdoes in front as Oberding trying to get around Greer. Off the stick of Argriau and then the glass. As to the outside, Casey now turns and has that blocked off of Heath. We got a whistle here as the net was dislodged behind Grady Argriau. Casey sends it around as they try and sneak one through Argriau. He made the save on Shook, who then just shoveled the rebound wide stick side as that drive is blocked down. Played with a high stick, touched next by New Hampshire as we will play on. Shook fighting through contact, has it here along the boards. His pass pops up into the air and lands at the far side. St. Pierre couldn't force that through as it ricocheted off of several skates. It goes the distance here for an icing call. Koreshkov back to the point. It's played back in off the corner board and sent right back out. It popped off of Wing's shin pads and then out of play. Must have hit somebody up along the main bench. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third. The faceoff will come back outside the main blue line. Puck was into the feet of Del Mastro. He tried to kick it across to Koreshkov. As Wibble will steer this along the paddle. Karachi off the stick. Koreshkov able to muscle that over to Del Mastro, and now room up the wing for Prue. Prue shooting, and that's flexed away by Argriau. In transition, Grabars into the middle. Jogan fighting through Cronin. He could never get it to his stick. As a long indirect finds Koreshkov into the middle. Del Mastro, who's had the hot stick here. He lost the puck there in the corner as he was taken down from behind by Peel. Off the draw. Puck dropped in deep. Schmoll backhands it along. Caban unable to hold the line as out comes Fairbanks. Guarded there by Edinger. Oberding forced back after running into Ross. He'll work it around to Cabana. Pressured there by Bath. Bell can't twist this up the boards. It's back for Hessen, who shoots through traffic, and Wibble able to make that save. Getting help from Oberding to cover that puck. Off the draw. Hessen will just play it into space. Greer taps it into the slot, and it finds its way to Casey, who uses the boards, but ices it. Maine takes it off the draw. Hessen shoots. Stopped by Wibble. Rebound is there. Knuckling just wide of the goal. Wibble down trying to find his net again as that shot kicked away by Wibble. He was well outside the blue. Casey pushes this in deep. St. Pierre had stopped up at the line. I think Casey was expecting St. Pierre to keep on going towards the corner. As Cizak cutting his way in across the line. Lost it there in the corner as it's moved around. Shook ran into one check and at the line couldn't get it around the skates of Schmoll. Cizak helps this into Cabana's corner. Greer along the boards, can't center it as it's picked off by Shook with 4:45 to go in the third. New Hampshire entered the period up 4-3. They now trail 5-4 as Maine is getting set to go back to the power play as Cabana touches up on the puck. It's a tripping call. Shook is going to head to the box, and Team New Hampshire needs to find a way to slow down this power play of Maine, who have been a perfect 3 for 3 here today. Again, these penalty killers find a way to dig deep. As Graceffa gets it back along the half boards, turns and faces towards the goal, puck on his forehand. Graceffa down low, they try to work that play again, but it was blocked by Cabana, teaming up with Cronin. It shipped all the way down into the main zone where they'll look to break out here. Graceffa over the middle and across the line. Turning against Prue. Graceffa out high, looking for that shot. It's right into Wibble's chest. No rebound there that time with 53 seconds on this main power play. 3:52 left in regulation. And Team New Hampshire in desperate needs of a goal to try and tie things up. Off the draw, Schmoll can't go down the middle with it as Oberding lost the handle. Regrouping here is Schmoll out along the line. Now he'll trade places here as Graceffa takes it, winding up for a blast that's right into Wibble's chest. Out at the top of the crease to greet that shot, which was square. Heston able to hold it in as St. Pierre tried to barrel through him. Just over 20 seconds on this power play. As Graceffa will trade places with Schmoll again, navigating into the slot, and he just snapped it wide, stick side. Oberding able to one-hand this along to Smith. He'll turn and clear the zone, which will send Shook out of the box now as Team New Hampshire. A huge kill here late in the period. 2:50 and change to go, and they still trail by a goal, but finally keeping that main power play off the board. Maine is 3 for 4 here in this semifinal contest. Game in which they lead 5-4. Graceffa was taken down by Shook. But Maine gets the puck out of harm's way for now as Oberding will look to carry it. He'll gain the line here. Oberding veering wide before finally being stopped and pushed into the corner by Bath. St. Pierre with a pass up the wing. This is Desjardins moving in with a shot, and that's caught by Argriau just outside the blue to make that save with 2:08 to go, separating his team from an appearance in 3:30's championship matchup against Massachusetts. We'll redo the draw here to the right of Argriau. Del Mastro and Bath set to take it. Del Mastro wins it. Koreshkov stick handling, couldn't get the shot through. As he gets the puck in deep for Del Mastro, trying to go to work, but it's up the wall and cleared out by Ross. Koreshkov unable to work it around Vanderdoes. As from center, it's Parachi to send it in. Time is becoming a factor here, $1:35 to go. As Ross can't clear the zone, and then Bath just bulldozing over his man. Parachi took a firm check there, but caught an elbow. With 1:29 to go, Team New Hampshire in need of a goal. We'll get a power play for the rest of regulation time. And Archie Whibble for now being told to stay put. As a timeout will be called here by Team New Hampshire with 1:29 to go in the third. They trailed Team Maine in this semifinal round 5-4, as we'll take a quick timeout too here from Exeter. $1:29 to go in the third, and a power play for Team New Hampshire, who will start the power play 6-on-4 with their goaltender on the bench. All hands on deck here as they trail Team Maine 5-4. They control possession. Across the line, Cabana shoots and scores! Cabana has taken it! 7 seconds into the 6-on-4 power play. Cabana sends the shot through past Argrio on the stick side, and with 1:22 left here in regulation, Team Maine and Team New Hampshire are tied all up at 5. A tough one if you bet the under. As now here comes Del Mastro looking for the hat trick off the bar, and at the other side it would have been the game winner. Now New Hampshire will be guilty of a penalty here, as bodies spilling all over the ice. But Shook, their leading scorer, guilty of a rough. So New Hampshire 2 for 3 with the power play. Maine 3 for 4, and with 55 seconds to go, can Maine capitalize on yet another power play? Essen across the line to Schmoll. A spot on the championship on the line here in this final minute of regulation. 5-5, we're tied. Graceffa into the circle. Schmoll shoots, stopped, rebound, pops up into the net, and the goal is waved off as they say it was played into the goal with a high stick. It was nearly the fourth power play goal for Team Maine, but it was washed out immediately for a high stick with 33.4, and the draw will come all the way back down to Argreau. That would have been an absolute heartbreaker for Team New Hampshire. 20 seconds to go in regulation. Maine on the power play as Hessen falls down. Trying to lunge for it with St. Pierre. Dozen seconds to go. It's broken up by Del Mastro, and Parachi clears it the length of the ice with 5 seconds left. And this semifinal game will not be decided in regulation time. We go to overtime here between Team New Hampshire and Team Maine in a classic, tied 5-5 after 45 minutes of thrilling play. Nicholas Cabana's second goal of the tournament, a power play goal at the 13:38 mark of the third period. A $1:22 to go. And skating 6-on-4, New Hampshire able to tie the game up. Five of the 10 goals that have been scored in this game have been power play goals. And Maine is still going to have 35 seconds of a power play to work with once sudden death overtime starts, with the next goal clinching a spot in the championship game this afternoon. We saw that earlier in our first game of the day in the 2008 bracket. New Hampshire getting the better of Maine 4-3. How will it shake out here for the 2010 groups? Maine opened up the scoring 3:39 into the game. They led 1-0. Blake Bell gave New Hampshire a 2-1 lead at the 8:18 mark, followed by a pair of goals 35 seconds apart to put Maine ahead 3-2. The period would end tied 3-3 before Michael Shook's power play goal 15 seconds into the second made it 4-3 for New Hampshire. Then 26 seconds into the third, Joe Graceffa would tie it on the power play, followed up by Liam Ross's second goal to make it 5-4. And then Nicholas Cabana, with 1 minute and 22 seconds, ties the game up 5-5 as we now start sudden death overtime with Team Maine starting out 4 skating against 3 for 28 more seconds. Puck brought in by Graceffa. Graceffa's pass, too hot for Jogan to handle, as Wibble was bumped into slightly. The net had come off along with him, as Graceffa was unable to stop up before the crease. That brings the faceoff out into neutral ice. 17 seconds till Shook can be freed from the box. This is a 10-minute overtime period. They'll skate 3-on-3. Ultimately, at some point, as Shook is out of the box, Argreau gives the puck away and bails himself out, spills the puck out, and makes the save on St. Pierre. How that did not just end the game, I am not sure, as Argreau tried to go right up the middle. It almost cost him. As Wing now with a shot chested down by Wibble to the corner. Oberding looking up ice, and he'll stretch the ice for Del Mastro, who's got 2. Del Mastro shoots off the bar again. Second time in crunch time that Kingston Del Mastro has rung the post. Had a chance late in regulation, caught the bend of the crossbar. Another shot cleanly off the post. Argreau, I'm sure, still thanking his lucky stars that turnover did not lead to the game-winning goal here in overtime. The recovery was even more impressive as Ross now centers into the slot and Peel just fired that wide. This will be an icing on Team New Hampshire. Argreau came charging to play it. It caromed off the set of shin pads and almost went back in through his 5-hole. The puck was in between his pads. He had no idea where it was, and as he was spinning around, it came free once again. And somehow, St. Pierre could not get it past that outstretched left leg. Three skating against three here in overtime. Shook will peel back. Trying to get started up ice. Shook, pestered there by Ross. Had that shot just blocked wide off the defense of Bath. Up drifted there away from Peel. Was able to fight for possession back against the changing Shook. Kingston Del Mastro throttled there into the boards by Bath. The penalty box door came flying open. As Peel will pick this up. Aimling in over the line, and Wibble just got a piece of that to send it wide. Ross along the boards. Down low he goes. It's tipped on net, and Wibble able to dive on top of that puck as Peel tried to go up and over. Just about 3 minutes gone by in sudden death overtime. 5-5. This is Del Mastro. Bringing it down his off wing. Del Mastro still with the puck. Trying to cut into the middle. Lost it to Fairbanks, who then lost it to Casey. Casey takes it around the cage and then swings it into the slot where it's picked off by Schmoll. He'll scamper out with it, trying to cross the line. Schmoll will just drop it into an open corner. Cronin rips it off the glass. Shook taps it over to Casey. Casey gliding in around the goal. It's played back for Cronin. Cronin curling. Rink wide, he'll go to Shook. Back down low, it's Cronin trying to pull it away from Vanderdoes, who steals, but put too much mustard on that pass. Trying to send Fairbanks down the left wing side. Instead, it's icing. 5:46 to go here in overtime. Off the draw, St. Pierre almost toe-picked into the boards as Oberding maneuvering past wing. Oberding trying to get himself back onto his skates as he staggered his way towards the net. Argreau comes out to cover the loose puck. Off the draw, Oberding moves it back to Cabana. That shot took a change of direction off of wing. Agriao is able to make the positional stop. Off the draw. Maine with the puck behind their own goal. It is flipped down neutral ice, and it's going to lead to a chance. Hesson moving in, and he missed as Will went for the poke check. It could be numbers up ice for New Hampshire. Oberding is leading the charge. He's got St. Pierre trailing. Oberding shoots and scores! New Hampshire will play for a title! They win it in wild fashion, 6-5 here in sudden death overtime. After tying the game late, they find a way to win it. Oberding with the shot, and New Hampshire will take on Massachusetts for a championship at 3:30.